welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. Let's get straight into it today.
That is almost certainly the bow I left to Fimloth.
You heard what he said, Kippen. That is almost certainly the bow I lent to Fimloth, the orc that claimed it carried it into the wold, and now this man, Elthengels, has taken it. Let me see if there's any good rewards here. This one's not terrible, but I still like the higher agility on what I have better.
This will not take long.
Let us have some words with this man, Elthengels. He is sure to return my bow when he understands the situation. I don't know. For whatever reason, I feel like he's not going to want to return it just like that. But we will see. Got my companions here. Let's see what they have to say. What do you think of Floodwind? These towns we have seen, including this one, are more dense than those of my people. Perhaps that makes them easier to defend, but it also means a single burning brand from a foe might set the whole place ablaze. That may be worth remembering if this horseland continues to treat my people with such scorn. Ah, that was a jest, my friend. Don't look at me like that. What do you make of Elthengels? He seems much like any other horseman to me. Greedy, arrogant, and selfish. I excuse Horn from this company, of course, but his deeds have proven otherwise. But he is the exception, and it seems that Elthengels is what we should expect from most of the horse lords. Can we win this wager? This man, Elthengels, most likely spent his entire life on horseback. We are less experienced. Make that what you will.
That is the bow Corridon lost?
No wonder he wanted it back. How many orcs did the two of us slay in Thinglad searching for it? And now this arrogant horseman thinks slaying a single orc entitles him to keep it for himself? What do you know of this area? Floodwind is a long way from my own home in Aworth, in the Entwash Vale. I have been here only once or twice. Harding of Harwick is the Aldor of the North March and answers to Theoden King only for the defense of its people. This is among the rockiest stretch of the wold, and the great river flows swiftly south of the rapids. Will he honor this wager? I have not met Elthengels before today, but he is a man of Rohan, and I trust that he will honor his obligations. If he agrees to the terms of a wager, we will hold them in victory or defeat. So by what these guys are saying, it sounds like this guy is going to propose some sort of contest for the bow. Can we win this wager? Elthengels has more skill while mounted than any of you, and if he is making this wager, he thinks he has more skill than I as well. I do not think our chances of victory is very high, but there is always a possibility of victory when good-hearted folk try their hardest to succeed. Even when newly trained on the back of a war steed against a seasoned veteran of the plains of Rohan, maybe.
Surely Elthengels will see reason.
That is clearly an elf-made bow, and if Corridon says it belongs to him, Horn's brow creases in thought. Of course, Elthengels did come into possession of the bow by slaying an orc in defense of his own town. He may not wish to part with it solely on the word of an elf. Are you certain that that is your bow? Of course I'm certain. It has no name, but the winged pattern and the curved etching is unmistakable. I would know it blind in the dark. That is my bow, and that is unworthy hands. Are you willing to wager this? I resent the need to wager, but I am willing to do whatever we must to have my favorite bow back in my possession. This man Elthengels is arrogant and greedy. Perhaps that will work to his disadvantage. What if Elthengels wins? If he wins, I will abide by the terms of the wager. I am an elf of Lorien, brother of Sigleth, the Deadly, and my word when given is trustworthy. But I want us to win. It is my bow, and it is not right for this man to keep it, shooting it poorly, if at all.
That is my bow. I would know it anywhere.
Tell me about this orc. His party came south along the Great River, I think, and they sought to cross south of the rapids. Several of the orcs perished in the crossing, and the remaining creatures passed too near to Floodwind for Awold to stand. He led us against them, and I slew the biggest and deadliest of them. I took this bow from him as spoils. You cannot deny Corodan's claim to it. Why? Because he is an elf? That is not enough for me. You might as well say I should sit in the Golden Hall of Edoras because I am a man of Rohan. And yet Theoden King is a rightful lord of the Mark. And I am a mere rider of Floodwind. You will abide by the wager? I will. I am a man of honor. I expect you to do the same, even if I cannot trust the word of a Dunlending savage or a peculiar elf. I am trusting you and Horn to make them abide by the terms.
I am not unreasonable. What if I gave your friend a chance to win it back?
I am sorry that your friend lost his bow, but it seems to me that anything taken from an orc belongs to the one strong enough to take it. If your friend wanted it back, why did he not reclaim it from the orcs when he had the opportunity? I'm not unreasonable. What if I gave your friend the opportunity to win it back in a contest of some sort? Allwold has given me a message to deliver to Elthengels in the Norcroft. How about this? A test of mounted skill. Whichever of us first reaches Elthengels gets to keep the bow. If I arrive there first, your friend gives up all claims to it. Does he agree to this proposal? If he does, let us speak with my commander, Allwold, outside Floodwind. He will start the race. It seems like a bad wager on his part. What does he get out of it if he wins? He gets to keep the bow, which I guess he's already entitled to. So, anyways.
If these are the laws of men, I am grateful to be one of the Galadhrim.
This is a ridiculous requirement. Why should I have to engage in a competition to determine my right to possess property that is rightfully mine? If these are the laws of man, I am grateful to be one of the Galadrim. But I am not worried, Kippen. We will best this arrogant sapling that thinks that is a weathered oak, and my favorite bow will once again be in my possession. Let us speak to this Allwold outside Floodwind. The sooner this unnecessary race has begun, the sooner we will win it. Alright. So let me actually mount up on my war steed, because I'm assuming this is going to be a race and I can get much better speed with this mount.
If you go back on your word, you will have me to deal with.
You explain the term of Elfsieg's wager and Allwold chuckles. I'm not surprised. Times have been tough in the world of late with orcs and Easterlings, and worse, prowling around the borders. When my men are not fighting for their lives or engaging in fruitless wagers, I cannot stop them. As long as they and you abide by the agreed upon terms, I have no complaint. But I do not want any bloodshed. If you go back on your word, you'll have to deal with me.
It will not take Elthsiga long to reach Elthengels.
You had better ride with great haste if you are to get there first and win your wager. Ride southwest to reach Elthengels. So I gotta get there before Elfsig and reach the entrance. Okay. So let's go. Looks like I got about 3 minutes. And I already started going off the wrong way, but it's alright. We'll get there. We will get there. I'm gonna follow the road so I don't break my legs. We're just gonna ride straight through. Looks like I got a good trajectory here. I think we will definitely win this. Just gotta be careful not to get lost. I think that's my main concern. As always, that's what I do in this game. I get lost. What is this? What is this area? I don't think I've been here. Doesn't look like there's any quests, though. So we are in the Norcrofts. You have arrived at Elthengels before Elfsig. Elthengels.
Did something happen to Elthsiga?
You ask the guard if Elfsig has arrived yet, and he shakes his head in confusion. No, but his horse arrived shortly before you did, and without him. Something must have happened to him. You have to retrace your steps and look for him. He must be somewhere between Elthengels and Floodwind. Look among the trees to the south and the road between here and Floodwind. You could have passed him without seeing him. That's not good. So there's his horse. Okay, let's see if we can find some evidence of what happened to him. Interesting little fort here. Some wargs. Don't really see anything interesting in there. Let me keep going past it. Looks like he was captured by
Thank you
orcs.
for coming back to find me.
I was trying to take a shortcut to Elthengels when Herhamanu was surprised by a patrol of orcs. He reared and I fell. Did he make it to Elthengels? I can probably walk now. I could not put weight on it, but now it is feeling better. I will meet you ahead in Elthengels and we can discuss the wager. I will be there soon. Thank you for coming back to find me. I do want to fight these orcs, just because. Okay. Ah, come on. Got a little too eager and started moving. Doesn't look like there's anything in there. Alright. So yeah, we're gonna have a good quest hub here. And there's some other towns as well. We got a lot of work to do here. You have discovered Elthengels. Let me dismount and get on my other pony.
I have already given your elf his bow, and I have renounced all claim to it.
I'm sorry if I came across as a bit of a fool, Kippen. I did not think you would be much of a rider, but not only are you a skilled rider, you are a good person as well. I thank you for coming to find me. I have already given your elf his bow, and I renounce any claim to it, which I may have had. It is done. Before I finish that, let me just talk with Horn here. Horn looks at you silently, his expression unreadable.
I have already given your elf his bow, and I have renounced all claim to it. Now that I am here, I need to accomplish my duty.
I was given a message to deliver to Thane Mildrith of Elthengels, asking for her to send some of her warriors to Floodwind to help defend against the increased number of Easterlings crossing the river. Her husband was slain by orcs some time ago, and her son died under unpleasant circumstances more recently. I do not think she will respond favorably to this message, but still I must deliver it. Thank you once again, friend.
The orcs that fled the East Wall may have passed near to Elthengels.
We should learn if any of the townspeople know anything of their passage. Here, Kippen, take these coins of the mark, and use them to buy a round of drinks at the tavern for the patrons there. It could be that one of them saw something of those orcs. Alright, very good. Let us go in here. We got the mead hall here. Looks like everybody is in mourning. Her husband and her son have passed.
Can you help me with it?
My people are in need of aid, Kippen. Elthengels has survived a tremendous orc assault. But it has come at great cost. My husband and my son have perished. The countryside is ravaged, and many yet lay dead or dying. Without reinforcements for Theoden King or that coward Reeve Ethelward, the end of our time here draws ever nearer. If you offer your assistance, I will gladly take it. We must band together and take aid from whatever it may come. The people of Elthengels are now my only concern. Our time for grieving must be brief. I will not let them give in to sorrow or concede defeat while yet we live. But there are many within the walls of this village that are in need of help. If you are able to resolve their troubles, return to me, and I shall see that you are rewarded. Okay, so I do need to help out some of the people here. a small little compact village, but let me see if I can make the most of it. That guy's training his mounted combat, it looks like. There's no stable here. Oh, looks like there's another tier to the city down here. Interesting. It's actually a little larger than I imagined.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Helmets, spears, shields, pauldrons, greaves. I will never finish these orders. Elthengels guards and its garrison have both placed urgent orders for a great deal of weapons and armor pieces. Never has my skill or speed with smithing a hammer been questioned, but this task is too great even for me. I have a plan that may resolve this issue if you'll be willing to aid me. I have heard that some orcs besieging the Norcrofts are known to collect swords and armor pieces from the riders as trophies of their kills. If some of these items were reclaimed, I could include them in the shipment to the garrison. What say you? Are you up to this task?
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
Greetings to you, good hobbit. Grim is the fate of this land, but we will not simply lay down and die. If Theoden King will not send us aid, then we shall find the strength within our own people. Many of those now here in Elthengels have fled their homes seeking refuge behind our walls. Yet it is the same men that we must now stand and face the dangers looming ever greater. I am eager to provide these refugees with weapons and training. They need only to show the desire to fight. Yet few have stepped forward, and my hope of forming a militia among them quickly fades. Perhaps they could be convinced by an outsider such as yourself. Will you aid me in finding recruits? What is that? Oh, it's a crafting thing. I think this is the tavern. Let me go in there. No, this is a shop. There's a door back there too. Just a little pantry.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
I am in a dire situation, friend. I am responsible for treating the wounds and injuries of the peoples of Elthengels, but I am without the necessary reagents to do so. Will you stay a moment and hear me out? We cannot allow others to suffer the same fate as poor Penwolf, but I am unprepared. I have a meager supply of common herbs in my possession. If you were to gather some of these herbs and reagents I am in need of, I might be able to redeem myself by saving others. Meadowmaid, Lamb's Ear, and Clotburg can all be found growing outside of the Elthengels. These plants are most helpful in treating wounds, but I am currently lacking in their supply. Will you secure them and help bolster my reserves? Let's see what else. All the way down here.
I hope we will find aid in time.
You would dare me to stand before an entire army of orcs when I was unstable to save my own home from a pitiful savages and thieves? I am but a farmer, neither sword nor spear have I carried, but I am no coward. Honor bids that I must fight to repay my benefactors. The people of Elthengels have welcomed me and sheltered me, and in this way I will repay my debt to them. Tell the militia to expect my company. If I am to fight, there is much that I must learn. We open up the stables here.
Will you aid the horse lords? Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
Hail there. Have you any skill with the horse? I'm a bit ashamed to admit this, but I'm having trouble with this one horse in my stable. This particular steed raced riderless into town no more than a day ago. Perhaps he was abandoned and was fleeing from the orc raiders? I have taken him into my stable and have orders to prepare all the steeds for Elthengel guards. But this new horse simply is too unruly. Perhaps if you were able to ride him and see where he may take you, it would be just what he needs to relax and become more amenable to our handling. The unruly stallion. This music is so epic right now. Steed appears to be eagerly guiding you towards the nearby gates. The steed seems to be determined to head towards the cluster of trees north along the cliff wall. Your mount is pulling you onwards towards the rock cluster further to the north. Looks like there's a quest ring above those, but I don't want to dismount while I'm on this quest. So I'll come back to it. The steed seems drawn to this rock formation. Why have you been guided here? Let me... The steed seems drawn to this rock formation, but why have you been guided here? I don't know. Oh, there we go. You uncover what can be the steed's former owner. Upon discovery, the steed seems at ease. So this Uruk was slain by a spear, and there's the owner. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I can stay on the mount. Let me run around and collect some of these things. I don't know if I can dismount without failing the quest. Alright, I can. Good. There we go. Mounted orcs have been threatening the people of Norcroft for some time. Thinning their number would provide a great benefit to those who have remained in Elthengels, as well as bring vengeance for those who have already fallen. Okie dokie. Let me continue collecting all of these herbs and destroying these riders. Alright, good enough. There's a prowler. That's a weird looking enemy. It's like a giant raccoon. Weird. Let me continue looking for things that I need around here. Might be easier for me to switch to range stance here if I'm gonna be fighting all these guys. It might. It's kind of hard to. It is hard to do melee combats with a riding unit like this, but at the same time, I don't want to do mounted combat. I just don't. It's not efficient. Unless they like run off like that. My God. There we go. I might as well grab some oak branches, why not? Let me go kill this guy. Very good. Wonder if this one will count. No, I think it said mounted. Needs to be mounted units. I'll grab one of these, why not? Grabbing some more herbs. What else? What else? One more herb here. I think this is the last one. Good. Now I just need to kill a few more enemies, if I can find any. Let me kill this orc and see what happens. Grabbing a few weapons, good. It's like a big battle took place here. Lots of weapons lying around. And I think that's the last mounted one I need to kill as well. There we go. The people of Elthengels will greatly benefit from having fewer orc riders attacking those beyond the walls of the town. Okay, let me go back into town and turn all these quests in. Sorry, a little bit of lag there. Been a very fun season so far as we open up here into the Norcrofts. Let me get on my just regular mount.
The Dunlendings rally to the banner of the White Hand.
Never did I wish to become a soldier and march off towards war, but it would appear that war is inevitable for us. Once again, the orcs will be crashing at our door, and we will be forced to defend ourselves, ready or not. When that day comes, I would prefer to stand bravely with a weapon raised against my foes, and I will encourage others to do the same. The militia may consider me grateful for their training. I am digging the soundtrack.
Time is short, and so is hope.
I have lost my home and my land. My family is all that matters to me now. Each day here, I have worked various odd jobs to earn enough coin to keep my children sheltered and fed. Time is scarce for training and the like. Yet I believe if this militia were to provide my family with an allotment of food each day, then I might use the time given to learn the skills to protect them. You tell this garrison commander that I accept his offer, so long as my children remain eating. Maybe this is the tavern. It is, indeed. Let me see if anybody knows anything.
I've not seen you around here before, stranger.
Your coins are good, though. I'll give you that. Here's a round of my finest. Pass her around if you will. There should be some of the unusual folk upstairs. Wigherd, Tidwine, Maybe one or two others whom I don't come in as frequently. They'll be glad of your generosity. Okay, let me go upstairs. Interesting characters up here.
Don't mind if I do have a sip of that.
Thank you kindly, stranger. I don't mind if I do have a sip of that. Wigger drinks deeply but shakes his head when you ask him about the Uruks. I did not see them run by, but I heard from those who did, running more away than toward. It seemed to them as saw it. No one wanted to ride out to challenge them, and who can blame them? We lost Thane Pendraud in the autumn to orcs, and his widow may be Thane now, but she is not the fighter he was. And then to lose her son? It is a wonder she can go on at all, but she's not commanding troops. The Uruks passed us by, and we should be lucky they did not turn to raid the town.
I'll have some of that, since you are buying.
Tidwine drinks the mug in one huge gulp, and at first he cannot tell if he has heard you ask about the Uruks. Ah, just the stuff. What did you say? The Uruks that ran by Elthengels? Aye, I saw them. Never seen Uruks run like that before. Even if Dame Mildred was in any state to order our riders, she would have been a fool to send men after them. And she is no fool. Suffered more than her share of grief, if you ask me, but no fool. She was Pendraud's rock before he was slain by orcs, and she has much to do with the shaping of the man Pendulph became. Pity what happened to the boy. But you'll hear no rumors from me.
If you insist.
Dudman finishes the mug and slams it down on the table. Best beer in the Norcrofts, and I don't care who hears it. You go tell Reeve Othawald that I'd rather have a brew of Elthengels than that of Cliving. The other patrons give Dudman some worried looks, but it only serves to rile him up further. No, you listen to me. If he challenges me to trial by combat, like he did with Mildred's son, well, I'll teach him a thing or two. I won't even let him scratch me with that blade of his. I swear he had that vile coating on it to make Pendulph's wound fester like that. I swear it. He lapses into a depressed, drunken silence and has nothing more to say to you. Interesting. So perhaps there was some sort of murderous plot against the current Thane's son.
What was that noise? Did you hear that?
Now there's an unfamiliar face, Kippen. I have not seen you since the East Wall. Did you find the Uruks that you were seeking when we spoke to Mansig's encampment? No? A shame. I'm sorry, I have returned home to... What was that noise? Did you hear that?
Something is happening outside. It sounds like trouble.
And we're gonna find out exactly what trouble that is, but it's gonna be in the next episode. Thanks for watching and see you then.